Yesterday. Think about yesterday. How many hours did you spend sitting? Not exercising, just sitting. The couch after dinner, the chair at the table, the car, the TV. Add it up honestly, because a 2023 study in JAMA found that adults who sit more than 10 hours a day face a 63% higher risk of dementia. At 15 hours, the risk more than triples. The average American over 60 sits between 9 and 13 hours every single day. If your number came in higher than you expected, this video is for you. Because these 3 habits don't feel dangerous, they feel completely normal. That's exactly the problem. If someone you love is struggling with their memory and nobody's explained why, subscribe and drop a comment below. Tell me, has the change been gradual or did it happen suddenly? Your comment helps this reach the families who need it. I'm Dr. James Robinson, and what I'm about to share is something I've wanted to explain properly for a long time, because a 7-minute appointment is never enough. Here's what I know after years with patients in their 60s and 70s. The habits hurting them most are never the ones they suspect, not the obvious ones, the quiet ones, the daily ones. And after 60, your brain responds to these habits differently than it did at 45. The research is clear on this now. Let me show you exactly what's happening and what you can do about it tonight. Habit 1. And honestly, this is the one that surprises people most. Sitting. Not resting after a hard day. I mean the long, unbroken stretches that most people over 60 move through every day without thinking twice. Here's what I see constantly. Someone walks into my office, walks every morning, takes their medications, watches their diet, and their memory is still slipping. So I ask, what does the rest of your day look like? Almost every time, they sit. For most of it, a morning walk does not cancel 11 hours in a chair. A 2023 study in JAMA tracked older adults with wearable devices and found that those sitting 15 hours a day were more than 3 times as likely to develop dementia compared to those sitting 9 hours. 3 times. The reason is something called cerebral hypoperfusion. Your brain isn't getting enough blood flow. Long, unbroken sitting slows your heart's output. Less blood reaches your hippocampus, your memory center. Less oxygen feeds the regions handling focus and word retrieval. Everything slows down, quietly, over time. After 60, the arteries feeding your brain have already lost some elasticity. The margin is smaller than it used to be. Self-check. Think about the longest stretch you sat yesterday without getting up. 2 hours? 3? More? If you spend most afternoons in a recliner, even on the days you exercised, this may already be affecting you. The fix couldn't be simpler. Set a phone alarm. Label it brain break. Every 45 minutes, stand up. Walk to the kitchen. 2 minutes outside. That's it. The goal isn't more exercise. It's interrupting the sitting. Start tonight. The second habit happens while you're completely unconscious. It's sleep. Specifically, 6 hours or less. Or those fragmented nights you've been telling yourself are just part of getting older. I hear it all the time. I just don't need as much sleep anymore. That's how it goes past 60. I understand why people believe that, but the research doesn't support it. What changes with age is the pattern of sleep. What doesn't change is how much your brain needs it. Here's what actually happens. During deep, slow-wave sleep, your hippocampus transfers the day's experiences into long-term memory. When sleep gets cut short, that transfer stops mid-process. Think of it like recording a family video and forgetting to press save before the power goes out. Whatever your brain captured that day, it never fully stores. And there's something else. Harvard researchers found that sleeping 6 hours or less was associated with a measurable buildup of amyloid beta, the same protein found in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Every short night, your brain's cleanup system leaves more of it behind. Self-check. When was the last time you woke up genuinely restored? Not just awake, restored. If you have to think about it, that pattern matters. Here's the fix. Pick a consistent bedtime. Not the perfect one, just a consistent one. 60-minute wind down before bed. No screens, dim lights, room at 65 to 68 degrees. Your brain responds to that consistency within 1 to 2 weeks. Habit 3 hides better than either of the first two. It's the food you think is fine. Before you tune out because you don't eat junk food, stay with me. Ultra-processed food isn't just chips and soda. It's flavored yogurts, packaged cereals, deli meat, microwave meals, products with heart healthy on the label. If your breakfast most mornings comes out of a package, this is about you. A study in JAMA Neurology followed nearly 11,000 adults over 8 years. Those eating the most ultra-processed food experienced a 28% faster rate of cognitive decline. The mechanism is neuroinflammation, chronic low-grade inflammation in the small blood vessels feeding your brain. Think of it like sandpaper working slowly on the inside of a fine instrument. Nothing crashes overnight. It just wears away the precision memory depends on. After 60, the blood-brain barrier becomes more permeable. What your brain filtered out at 45, it absorbs more of at 65. Self-check. Think about breakfast this morning. Made from ingredients or made in a factory? The fix isn't a perfect diet. Replace one ultra-processed item per day. Walnuts instead of crackers. Oatmeal instead of boxed cereal. One swap. That's where it starts. I want to pause here because there's something worth understanding. Sitting too long, not sleeping enough, eating from too many packages. Each one feels manageable on its own, but all three converge on the same target. The hippocampus. Sitting cuts its blood supply. Poor sleep stops it from filing memories. Inflammation from ultra-processed food degrades the vessels keeping it alive. All three, same target. Every day, think of it like never taking out the trash. A little more accumulates every afternoon in the chair, every short night, every packaged meal, until the buildup starts interfering with things that used to feel effortless. Words, names, why you walked into the room. After 60, your brain's natural protection systems have already begun to decline. These habits don't start that, they accelerate it. But here's the part that matters equally. The U.S. Pointer trial, one of the largest brain health studies in this country, found that adults in their 60s and 70s who changed their daily habits improved their cognitive scores. They performed like people 1 to 2 years younger. The damage is not locked in. Which of the 3 habits do you think is your biggest problem right now? Tell me in the comments. One more thing, and most people over 60 have no idea it's affecting them. Chronic dehydration. Not the dramatic kind, the quiet kind, where you go hours without water, run mostly on coffee, and your body is just consistently a little short. After 60, the thirst reflex weakens. Your brain stops reliably sending the signal that you need water. You can be meaningfully dehydrated without feeling thirsty at all. A 2025 review in PMC found that dehydration disrupts cerebral blood flow, alters brain chemistry, and impairs the process your brain uses to transmit and store memories. The messages still travel, less completely. Sometimes not at all. Self-check. How much water did you drink yesterday? Not coffee, water. Less than 4 glasses. This may be affecting you more than you realize. The fix? Don't wait to feel thirsty. 1 glass of water when you wake up, before coffee, before your phone, before anything. Then 1 before each meal. That's your baseline. Start tomorrow morning. Let me tell you about Raymond, 68 years old, retired mail carrier, walked his route for 31 years. Every summer, he grows tomatoes in the backyard and brings homemade sauce to his grandchildren's school events. The kind of man who shows up, who pays attention. He walked every morning without fail, never missed a checkup, took every medication on time. And then, at his daughter's birthday dinner, he reached for the name of his son-in-law, a man he'd known for 11 years. It wasn't there. He sat quietly, hoping no one noticed. When Raymond came to see me, everything looked fine on paper. Blood pressure, good. Cholesterol, fine. But when we actually talked about his day, a pattern emerged. 10, sometimes 11 hours of sitting after his walk. 5.5 hours of sleep most nights, fragmented, restless, and he'd been telling himself for years that this was just aging. Breakfast and lunch from packages he considered reasonable. 3 habits, none dramatic, all daily. After he adjusted all 3, movement breaks every hour, a consistent 7-hour sleep routine, replacing 2 packaged meals with real food, he came back 3 weeks later. He looked at me and said, "I thought walking in the morning was enough. Nobody ever connected the rest of the day for me." That line stayed with me because the connection is in the research. It's documented. It's clear. It just doesn't fit inside a 7-minute appointment. Remember that number you counted at the start? Your sitting hours from yesterday? Now you know what it means. The Pointer trial showed that adults in their 60s and 70s who made consistent habit changes performed cognitively like people 1 to 2 years younger. Not through medication, through daily choices. The research doesn't ask you to be perfect. It asks you to be consistent. 1 alarm every 45 minutes. 1 consistent bedtime. 1 food swap per day. 1 glass of water when you wake up. 4 changes. No prescription. Your brain is not giving up on you, but it needs you to stop treating these habits as invisible. Short version. Take this with you. Habit 1, brain break alarm, every 45 minutes starting tonight. Habit 2, consistent bedtime, 60-minute wind down, cool room. Habit 3, 1 real food swap per day, starting tomorrow. The hidden one, glass of water first thing tomorrow morning, before coffee, before anything. That's what Raymond wished someone had told him earlier. One thing before you go. Which of these 4 are you starting with tonight? Leave it in the comments. I read every one. And if someone came to mind while you were watching, a spouse, a parent, a friend, send them this video. Not as a warning, as something useful. Everything here is grounded in published research, but none of it replaces your own doctor. If anything raised a question, write it down and bring it to your next appointment. That conversation is worth having. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.